profound question to us. Now remember, we're dealing with the fact that we had Islamic background in Africa. And so even the glimpse, the slightest indication, the slightest word of Islam would attract us to Islam. So how many blacks, so many African Americans becoming Muslims? It's in their genes. There's somewhere they heard the adhan. Somewhere they heard Assalamu alaikum. They heard Allah, Muhammad. They can't explain it, but somewhere, and it attracted us. I know that most of us probably can't fully explain why we came to Islam. Not fully. Now we know a lot of us were rebelling against white supremacy. You know that? And we should have. We still should. So Mr. Farad, he left with a little man from Sandersville, Georgia. He left with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and he left with us a powerful statement, question and answer. He said, know yourself and be yourself. Right? Know yourself and be yourself. And then he gave the question, what is my own self? Now, if I get a little too deep in this, feel free to stop me and say, Mustafa, this is 2003. Said, know yourself and be yourself. And say, well, who is my own self? And he gave the answer. He gave the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and gave us the answer.
Yes, he did.
That ain't talking about Imam Muhammad wanted the American society of Muslims to be destroyed and dissolved. When you hear this answer, you don't know he didn't want the American society of Muslims to be dissolved and be destroyed. You know the answer. What is my own self? A righteous Muslim. Was not that the answer? And what is the name of this community? American Society of Muslims. Is it not connected to the original history of Islam in America? Yes. Imam Muhammad don't waste words and play games. And he doesn't want weak-kneed, coward students and support. He wants brothers and sisters that are sincere and loyal and dedicated and have principles that they stand upon and willing to take risks for what is right and what is good.
Yes.
And you brothers in business, you know the greater the risk, right? The greater the return.
Right now.
So we are a community that should not be afraid. We should not have leaders that are afraid to venture out into the world, into this vast world, for our sake and our progress. And say to our leader, I love you, Imam Muhammad.
Yes.
I love you. But from what I understand, from what you've given me, you don't want me to be shackled. You don't want me to be afraid to execute what I think and what I see based upon clear understanding from the Quran, the life of Muhammad and your commentary. Let us not be cowards and afraid, and if somebody stand up upon principle, somehow they're going against the leader, they're going against what we're about. That is what, you know what, men, women, brothers and sisters, want us to stand up and not be sheep. Not be sheep. So my own self is a righteous Muslim. So they say, the American Society of Muslims is an outgrowth of a seed that was planted over 70 years ago. The American Society of Muslims is the outgrowth of a seed that was planted over 70 years ago. The American Society of Muslims represents that history of the original nation of Islam evolved, matured. And just as we did not walk away and abandon the original nation of Islam, but transformed it behind the leadership of Imam W.D. Muhammad, we will not abandon the American Society of Muslims. Rather, we will transform it and make it better, more appealing and attractive, so that others who are not a part of it now will feel more comfortable becoming a part of it or associating with it, as what happened when Imam Muhammad transformed the nation of Islam. We had a lot of people in the nation of Islam, but when Imam Muhammad transformed it, there are many here now and other places that became a part of this community as a result and after the transformation. We're going to get to more specific things on this, inshallah. The ASM is a continuation of that great history. Now, dear believers, I want this to be clear. Having shared the information that I have shared up to this point, I say publicly, as I've already said, without any hesitation, that I'm committed to leading in the reviving, renewing, and reorganizing of the American Society of Muslims. I haven't done or said anything about my intentions of the American Society of Muslims in secret. There's been full pages on the back of the Muslim Gun. Half pages. And I'm saying it publicly. There's nothing underhanded or secret about it. It's wide open. But I'm not a fool. I'm not a fool. I know that I'm standing on solid ground. I'm willing to put my life on what I'm doing, that I'm standing on solid ground. I have no hesitation about what I'm doing as it relates to our leader, Imam Mustafa.
That's right.
I know where I stand, and I'm not quivering and shaking because I don't want this to be seen in arrogance. I'm just saying to you, I know where I stand with the position that I have on the American Society of Muslims. And I'm prepared to put my life and my family's life on the fact that I know for a fact Imam Muhammad did not want us to abandon the American Society of Muslims. He does not want to see it dissolved and decimated. I put my life on it. And there's not a man on this earth that can stand before you in his right mind and say that he knows that Imam Muhammad wanted the ASM to be destroyed and dissolved.
That's right.
They can tell you speculation. They can say it's an indication of laws. Well, he said to me, and he said to us in the Ramadan session, that I'm not recruiting. He did not leave the American Society of Muslims and say, now come with me out of the American Society of Muslims to the mosque. I'm prepared to work with other good leaders to correct problems and make the ASM better, as Imam Muhammad suggested, and hopes will happen. There are other Muslims and believers around the country that I've talked to, and Imam Muhammad indicated to me strong believers that did not leave. They just didn't have the public notoriety, so to speak. They were not at the national level, as I am, and as I was. So when I did my retraction, it caught all of the attention because I was a national leader and people know me around the country. So it caught all of this attention. But there are others that we've heard from and that we know that are loyal and dedicated and committed to rebuilding, along with myself, the American Society of Muslims. So, dear believers, on October 31st, 2003, right here in Newark, I said to Imam Muhammad, Brother Imam, I submitted, I remind you, hesitantly, but I submitted a letter of resignation. He said, Mustafa, like I told brother so-and-so, I won't mention the brother's name, but he's in the South, I did not ask anyone to submit letters of resignation and to resign. I wanted, in the hope that they would have stayed, tried to correct it, and make it better. Now, I'm telling you what he told me, what I'm saying straight and open. But that's okay. After hearing that, I, as the type of person I am in my loyalty and dedication to him, I immediately said, as you would have said, I wanted to say it to me as you would have said. I said, oh, brother, I'm retracted. So he wasn't asking, but I said, I'm retracted. And actually, that was our position anyway, not to do it. The brothers and sisters in Master Hebrew would tell you anyway. That was our position anyway. We may at the very least wait. So, you saw in the back of the paper, this big retraction. Imam Mustafa El-Amin rejoins the American Society of Muslim, retracts and withdraws his previous resignation. And all around the country, as you all know, what is he doing? What is going on here? He's going against the leader, etc., etc. Right? But I was following the leader. Leader said he didn't want us abandoned. He didn't want us to dissolve. So if I saw that I did it, he said that's not what I wanted, I had no problem. Retraction. I don't care, all of them go. The whole crew, all of the imams, all of them go. He said he didn't want to happen. I'm going back in. And they all have left. So that's why I'm leaving active. And intend to keep leading. Not just for me, but not for me, for you all, for us, for our community, for our leader. Don't quit. Oh, now if it's clear. So now, we don't need to take a whole lot of time. But I want to present to you some clear-cut evidence so that you can decide what you want to do. So that you can make a clear choice instead of upon emotionalism, which he said to us and we should have stuck to it. In 1975, this house is not built upon emotions. If the window is up and a storm or an army of emotions comes against this house, it won't even wave the curtains.
That's right.
So how did all this mass resignation come? He told us of an evil and a bad element among us. I say to you, it was the bad element that floated there so that we could leave the American Society of Muslims. They floated that. And when I present to you this evidence, you'll say, well, somebody did it, not the Imam. They gave us the impression that we were supposed to just leave it and let it go down, fall to pieces. I asked the brothers to bring me the Muslim Journal. I just want to show you so you'll know that this is from the Muslim Journal, what you're going to hear. This is the September 26, 2003 Muslim Journal. Right? About a month, almost a month after his resignation. On the front it says, an exclusive interview with Imam W.D. Muhammad, Wednesday, September 10, 2003. The following interview was conducted by Brother Nathaniel Omar with Imam W.D. Muhammad. Okay? And we want to have clarity, inshallah. Now, here are some quotes from this. On bad elements, bad imams. The brother asked him, he said, obviously, there are some imams whose performance you are not pleased with. So what is your message or advice to the good imams who support you? Let's move this away from Mustafa. Let's hear what the imams say. Okay? So you're going to be standing on solid ground when you make whatever choice you make. Answer. I would prefer to make a statement to the good imams regarding the element that is not like them. That element that refused to give me open and full support. They have a separate agenda and have always had a separate agenda. They were back in the time of my father. Nothing has changed. And they have pretended to be here supporting me before the general membership. They pretended to be in support of my father, and they were not. That element that was among the American Society of Muslims. We're leading a new effort, a new beginning, with the intent of locking them out, if possible. Now, Imam W. Muhammad's advice to good imams from this Muslim Journal interview. Those imams, listen carefully, please. Those imams who are with me and really support me, see Imam Muhammad told, if you are going to stay with the American Society of Muslims, I will be happy to see that. Come. For they should want the ASM to be better. Period. Now, I know many of you have this paper. You may just put it to the side. You can go read this. Okay? I will read this again.